Good morning to you all students. Hi students, how are you? So I hope you all are fine and you all are doing well. So now we are studying about fourth chapter, isn't it? So have we all revised till yesterday's portion? So have we all studied the two chapters thorough? Chapter 1 and 3? So the important questions I said, have you all studied? So last class we have studied about the chapter 4 theoretical concepts of operating system. What's the heading of the chapter? Theoretical concepts of operating system. So in this chapter already we have studied about the introduction of operating system. Isn't it? So what do you mean by operating system? So it provides a platform for all the softwares to run. Isn't it? So two kinds of softwares you have studied. What are the types of softwares you have studied? Two types. What are they? Application software and system software. So what do you mean by application software? So application software is nothing but, so what are the application programs you are downloading from Play Store in the mobile or downloading from the net. So that application programs you are using to perform a particular task, isn't it? Then system software. What do you mean by system software? So if the application program run well mean, which one needs to provide the platform for the application software? System software. So what's the best example for the system software? Windows, Ubuntu, Linux, etc. Isn't it? So last class and also we have studied about important uses of what? Operating system and key features of operating system. So what are the key features of operating system? What are things you have studied? Just to remind the diagram. Key features: user interface, memory management, process management, lot of things are there. So today you are going to study about the key features of operating system one by one in detail. Okay? Yes. Among that, what's the first key feature you have studied already? Are you remembering first key feature? User interface. What do you mean by user interface? Who is the user? The person who uses the system or mobile phone. That is the person we are calling as an user. So user interface. So intermediary person. So intermediary person between the user and the computer we are calling as an what? Interface. So for that interface, last class I taught about one form design, isn't it? So in that, what are the things you have studied? Easily you can enter your name, address, everything. That is called as user interface. Today we are going to study about memory management. Okay, this is also one of the important concepts of operating system. What do you mean by memory management? So what do you mean by memory? So which is the major part of humans to memorize all the things? Which is the major part? Brain, isn't it? So what's the purpose of brain? To store what are the things you have seen or what things you are speaking. All the things, all the informations are stored inside memory of your brain, isn't it? So memory is there. So while you are seeing the particular object, from the brain through nerves, through eye nerves, it will send signals. This is the object. For to hear the voice means it will send signals to ear. To take particular things means from brain it will send some signals to hand. To walk means from brain it will send some signals to leg. Isn't it? So all these things are managed by the whole person called brain. Isn't it? Likewise, so memory means what? The place used to store some informations. So in computer or mobile, that was called what? Memory. So what do you mean by management? So whether management is needed? For example, our school is there. So our school, some better infrastructure is there, and also school management. What's the use of school management? One structure is there. First, school head of the principal, then teachers, then teaching staff, non-teaching staff, etc. That's the management, structure of management. Likewise, memory management. So in memory, you need to manage something. Okay, so what's the use of memory management means? Main is used to control and coordinating. Okay, what do you mean by controlling and coordinating? So what are the kinds of memory you have studied? In first chapter, what are the kinds of memory you have studied? Primary memory and secondary memory. So what's the best example for main memory? RAM. Isn't it? So this all the process needs to control by some person. That is called as what? Memory management. Okay. So and coordinating. What do you mean by coordinating? RAM, ROM, then secondary memory, primary, all the things need to coordinate together to copy something or to take information from some memory. That is coordinating. Okay. So what's the use of memory management? So it's a process of controlling computer's main memory. Computer already memory is there. So using this management schemes, you are going to control some part of the memory. Okay. So many programs you are running in the computer or many processes you are opening in the computer. Okay. So in memory, lot of space is there. So what's the memory management? For example, in your mobile, the space will be 16 GB. For example, I am telling, okay, 16 GB space is there. So you are going to copy some video files or films. The particular film will took 2 GB space. For single film, it will took 2 GB space to copy. Okay, but total space of the memory, how much memory will be there? 16 GB. So you are going to copy only 2 GB. So how much space required for you to copy that file? Only 2 GB. So that memory needs to allocate, that means 2 GB of memory space needs to allocate to you to copy the files. Okay, so that only they are giving. Memory that they are calling as a blocks or space. Okay, the space required to copy something or required to store some information, we are calling as an what? Memory blocks. Okay, so based on that only we can able to identify the computer performance. Okay, and also this memory management, what's the main thing means? So it will allocate separate blocks to each program. Okay, so for example, you are going to copy images, then video files, then films, everything. Okay, so each and everything, for example, images or photos, it will took only 1 GB space, and also video files, it will took 1 GB space. Then films, it will took 2 GB space. Total how many GB it will took? 2 GB plus 1 GB plus 1 GB, 4 GB. Okay, so while you are copying that images, you need how much space? 1 GB. So that memory needs to allocate 1 GB space for you to copy particular photos. Next, you are going to copy one video file. That video file will took 1 GB space. So how much space required to copy that video file? 1 GB. So the memory needs to allocate the 1 GB space for video files. That's separate block. Then you are going to copy another one, movie. That movie will took 2 GB space. So memory needs to allocate how many spaces for you to copy that movie? 2 GB. So each and everything, the memory will allocate separate space or separate blocks for each program. That only they are giving to, it will allocate separate or specific memory blocks to individual program. What do you mean by individual program? Images means that one program. Then video file means that separate program. Then a movie means separate program. Each image, each things, it will provide separate blocks based on user demands. What do you mean by user demands? Who is the user to copying all the file? You. So based on your demand, it will allocate separate blocks to copy or to store information. Okay, based on this only we can able to determine the how the CPU performance is there. Okay, or how the computer is responding to you. You are doing particular the copying or inserting some information into the memory. Understand? So what are the things you are studying in memory management? Mainly, memory is used to store lot of informations. So then memory management means you can able to control and coordinate the process or things present in main memory. Okay. So each and everything you are going to assign what? Separate memory space for things. Okay. Based on the user demands, the particular memory will use space for each and everything. So based on that, you can able to calculate CPU performance. Understand? So which is the main part to perform this memory management? Okay. So which person is responsible for doing all the things, memory management, everything? OS, that means operating system. Okay. So what are the things this OS is this OS is responsible for this memory management? What are the things need to insert there to keep all this memory management? Okay. So listen, what's the first thing means? What's the OS will do? What's in memory management? What's the first work or first responsibility for this OS means? Okay. So what's the OS? For example, if you are copying that same video file or same images. Okay. First what I said example, you are going to copy some photos. So that photos will took how many GB space? 1 GB space. So this OS what will do means it will send some information to the memory. So which part of the memory you are using? Okay. For example, 16 GB is there means you are going to use only 1 GB for copying that photos. Okay. So among that 16 GB, how much? That means 1 GB of data only you are using. That information is sent to memory. That's the first point. Understand? So which portion of memory you are currently being used and who is using them? So you are using which memory or how much capacity you are using and who is the person using. Okay, that's the first part or first thing of the OS. So this is the first responsibility of the OS for this memory management. Okay, what's the second work means? So it will determine what process you are doing. So copying, for example, you are copying some video files from pen drive to your mobile phone or from memory card to your mobile phone. Okay, that is the copying of data from outside to your memory. Or you are moving from the files from your pen drive or memory card to your memory. Okay, so this OS will determine which process or data you are moving from which part of the memory. Either you can copy the files from your system to mobile phone or from mobile phone to system. That's the second thing. Understand? So it will determine which process of the data you are moving in and out of memory. So what's the meaning of in and out? In and out means, for example, you are copying the files from memory card to system. That means in. While you are copying that system files to outside, that means to pen drive means that is out. Understand? So next one, allocation and deallocation of memory blocks. What do you mean by allocation and what do you mean by deallocation? For example, the same example you took. So you are going to copy one video file or one movie. So it will took already is a 2 GB space. Okay, what do you mean by allocation of that particular movie file? 2 GB space. Next, you have seen that movie. After that, you are going to delete that movie. Okay, so you are deleted that file. So how much space now becomes free? That 2 GB space now become free. That is called as deallocation. Okay, understand what do you mean by allocation? Some programs or some files you are copying in memory. So that is how much space it will took to copy or to space that how much space it will took to copy that particular in video file or photo file or anything. That is called allocation. Deallocation means if you are going to delete that particular file, so that space becomes free. So that is called as deallocation. So this process we are called as what? Garbage collection. Understand? So what are the things? What are the OS is responsible for memory management? What are the things you have studied here? 3 points you have studied. What's the first responsibility of OS? So it will determine which process or which part of the memory you are currently using. For what? And also who uses that memory. That information it will send to memory. And next it will determine So you are doing whether you are copying the file from in and out of the memory. Okay. Next, allocation and deallocation. Understand? So second thing already you have studied what? Memory management over. So next thing is process management. Okay. So what do you mean by process? So you are doing some work. For example, you are studying. That is called as a process. You are writing some assignment. That is called as another one process. Okay. So each and everything we are calling as an what? Process. That means unit of work. What do you mean by process? A unit of work. For example, at a moment, what work you are going to do. That is called as an what? Process. Okay. For example, you are typing some files in the system. So that is called as one process. What's the process? What process is going on? Typing a file. Next, you are taking printout. So what process is going on? Taking printout. Okay. So each and every work done by the system, we are calling as an what? Process. Understand? So there also process management is required. Okay. So what do you mean by process management? What are the functions or what are the things you are doing? That things and all controlled by a process management. Okay. So in first point they have mentioned while you are creating and deleting process. Okay. What do you mean by the creating and deleting means? I'll explain. For example, so you are going to copy some file, the same example you took, then only you won't get confused. So you are going to copying one file in your mobile phone. For that, you are going to create one folder. Inside that folder, you are copying that particular file. Okay, that is called as what? Creating. Understand? Next, after some days, you are deleting the same. That is called as which process? Deleting process. Why I said means each and everything is a process. Creation of folder is a one process. Then deletion of that folder is called as another process. Okay. So what are the things you are doing? That things need to synchronize with each other. What do you mean by synchronization? Synchronization means, so that means one another will match with one another. Okay, match with one another. So if you are creating something means that is also we are calling as a process. Deleting something means that is called as a deleting process. Okay, this all the things are controlled by who? Process management. And also, so what are the things you are doing, either creating or deleting or copying anything. So each things need to synchronize with each other. Okay, so some examples they have given. What do you mean by process? In this they are given sending output to a printer. What do you mean by you are going to take some printout copy? That is also called as a process. Okay, so each and everything we are that means unit of work. We are calling as an what? Process. Understand? So this process can be classified based on two things. Okay, first thing is based on system code. Okay, so operating system is executed based on which code? System code. Next thing, user processes is executed by what? User code. Okay, so this process management can be classified into how many types? Two types. Based on how they have categorized operating system executed by system code. So operating system already said, so that is a predefined, that means that is a platform for running all the applications. So that is called as a system code. User process executed by user code. That means user is going to create some program or some files. That is called as what? User process. So user process needs executed by which code? User code. Okay, so either may be system code or either may be user code. All these codes need be concurrently need to execute in the CPU. Okay, what do you mean by concurrently? One another. Okay, that means first process executed over. Then next process need to execute. Then third process. Then fourth process. Okay, but in a single CPU, it will allocate each and every processes for some space. Understand? So, what do you mean by process? A unit of work we are calling as an what? Process. What do you mean by unit of work? What are the things you are doing? For example, typing a word in the system means that is called as a process. Then taking printout, that is also called as a process. Okay, so this process management, either you are creating a file or deleting a file, that also called as a what? Process. So these things and all managed by whom? Process management. So all these processes are classified into two types or two categories. What do you mean by means? So operating system is executed based on two. First one is system code, and user process is executed based on which code? User code. Okay, either whatever the processes, each process need to execute in concurrently. Concurrently in, that's important way, single CPU. Inside the single CPU, all the processes, for example, if you are typing a word file and storing in the memory, that also you are stored in the main memory of your CPU, that one process. Then again you are going to take printout for the same copy, that also done in the same CPU. Okay, but whatever process is there, each and every process needs to act as a concurrently. Understand? Yes. For this, they have give some algorithm for this process management. Okay, for example, 3 or 4 processes are executed in same CPU. They need to allocate separate spaces for them. For that, mainly they are classified into 4 algorithms. Lot of job algorithms are there, or lot of scheduling algorithms are there, but in your book they have given only 4 algorithms. Okay, very very important questions this one. So what's the first algorithm? Means FIFO. Okay, what's the first algorithm name? FIFO. Afterwards we can study in detail. Second in SJF. Now itself you study, very very important question. Okay. Third one is round robin. Fourth one is based on priority. Okay. So to allocate separate the process to the processor, so how many algorithms they have given for you? 4. Okay, what's the main purpose of this algorithm? So each and every algorithm will allocate separate processes for some separate thing. Okay, what's the use of this 4 algorithm? It will allocate the process in separate manner. Okay, so first algorithm is FIFO. So each and every algorithm is very very important. So listen carefully. Now itself you study. Very easy only. Okay. So if you understand means it is very very easy. First thing is FIFO. First in first out. Name itself having first in first out. Okay. This algorithm is a queuing technique. Okay. So this queuing schemes maybe you have studied in 10th standard max. I think it's so. Queuing schemes. You studied or not? If you study means please memorize it. Okay, remember it. So what do you mean by queuing technique means? First I said one example, then only you will get understand. For example, in your book lot of examples we can give, but in your book they have given one example. So listen. So lot of students are standing in a queue or a row. Okay, so that students are standing in a row. Why they are standing means they need to get their mark sheet from the teacher. Okay, so listen, what's the first thing? So lot of students are standing in a queue. They need to get their mark sheet from their class teachers. Okay, so how the teacher will distribute the mark sheet? For example, in a queue more than 25 students are standing. So first, who is standing at the first? He or she will provide the mark sheet of first student. So immediately he got the mark sheet. He or she will left from the row or queue. Then second student will come. So he or she, the teacher will give mark sheet for the second student. She will also left. Then third student will come. Third student mark sheet, she will also left. Understand? So those who stand at the first, that person will get the mark sheet first. And he or she is the first person to leaving out of the row also. Now understand the concept? First in, first out. So first who is entering, that person is leaving outside at the first. So this is the basic thing. So first understand the example, then only you will never forget. Okay. So likewise, what do you mean by first in, first out means which things or which number you are inserted at the first, that process will immediately it will execute and it will exit out at the first. Okay, So which process you are executing at the first, that process will left at the first. That means first in first out. First process will execute, then it will left out at the first process. Understand? This is the concept of FIFO. Name itself having first in first out. Understand? So how they are executed means they have given one this diagram they are not given in your book. For your understanding only, so I am explaining. Okay. So I will explain one example. Likewise, how in the system it is happening. Okay. So likewise, lot of process are enter into the CPU means first it will execute which process? Which process will enter at the first? So after that process complete, immediately that process will go outside. Then next process. Likewise, the order or in the queue or row order it will execute. Understand? So listen, here they are given one ticket counter is there. One person is there. Lot of persons are standing to get the ticket. So who is the first person standing? That person will get the ticket at the first. And if he moves at the outside, then last person will get at the ticket at the last. So first in first out. First person will got the ticket means if he or she will left out. So she or he is going outside. First person inside also getting the ticket and outside going first. That is first in first out. Then second person. First person over means second person will come. Then third person. Then till last person the queue will stand. Understand the concept? So next one is SJF. So each and every algorithm is very, very important. Please listen and study carefully. Okay. SJF. What do you mean by SJF? Mean shortest job first. So name itself having. By name itself you can identify what's the difference of between these algorithms. Okay. Shortest job first. What do you mean by shortest? Smallest. So among the process, which will have the smallest capacity or which will have the smallest thing, that job will execute at the first. Understand? Understand the concept? What do you mean by shortest job first? So lot of process is there. Among that process, which job will have shortest job at the first? So that job will execute at the first. Remaining job will execute at the next. Understand? So in your book they have given one example. Consider there is a 2 jobs. How many jobs are there? 2. So what's the capacity of A means 6 kilobyte. What's the capacity of B means 9 kilobyte. Okay. So which job will execute at the first? A. Why? 6 have the shortest capacity. So 6 will get executed at the first. Then which job will execute? B. Understand shortest job? What's the difference between FIFO and SJF? FIFO means first inserting process will get executed and immediately left out at the first. Shortest job means which process will have the lowest capacity and the shortest process. That job will executed at the first. Understand? So an example I have given. So listen, what do you mean by P1, P2, P3 means processes. Maybe any one process, copying a file, deleting a file, printing a file, typing a file, any one process. Okay. Like with 5 process I have given there. So among this process they have given some time and priority. Okay. So listen, among this which will have the shortest time at the first? So listen, I'll give the first see this priority. Is it visible for you? Which will have the shortest job, shortest process? 1. 1 means which process? P4. Understand? So which process will execute at the first? P4. Understand? So 5 processes are there. Leave it this one. Okay. So this is a time. How much time they are requiring. So they have given some things or processes priority. Among this, which will have the shortest time or the shortest job, that process will execute at the first. Okay. So among this, which will have the shortest job first? 1. 1 means which process? P4. So see this chart. So P4, what's the time of P4? 3. So 0 to up to third time, which process will execute? P4. Understand? So listen. Next. So this and all no need to buy God for your understanding only. I am showing this example. Okay. Just listen. That's all. Then next among this, which one is the shortest? 1 over. Then second, 2. So which process will need to execute? P1. So see the chart. Which process executing at the second? P1. Understand? So what's the time? 6. So already 3 is there. 6 plus 3, 9. Up to how much time it will execute? 9. So you should add the before process. Okay. Then 2 over. Then which is the shortest job? 3. 3 means which process needs to execute? P5. So which process need to execute? P5. What's the time? 4. So already 9 is there. 9 plus 4, what? 13. Understand? So then what's the next time? 4. 4 means which process? P2. So what's the time? 12. 13 plus 12, 25. Then 5. 5 means which process? P3. How much time? 1. 25 plus 1, 26. This and all they have not given in your book. For your understanding, I am telling. So this and all leave it. Don't get confused, okay? So only you have seen this one. So which is this numbers and I'll leave it, okay? Which will have the shortest job, that process will execute at the first. That's all. So which is the shortest job? Have 1, P4. P4 will execute at the first. Next shortest job 2. So P1 will execute at the second. Next shortest, third. So P5. Next 4, P2. Last P3. Understand shortest job scheduling? Next one is round robin scheduling. Okay, what's the next algorithm? Round robin scheduling. Name itself having round robin. So how this processes will execute? Round. Round means nothing but a circular method. Okay, so why they have designed this round robin scheduling means mainly this scheduling algorithms they are used in time sharing systems. Okay, time sharing means nothing but if 4 or 5 processes are running at the same time. Same time means so it will allocate so for separate time for each and every process. That is called as time sharing system. Okay, for example, they have given some timetable for your exam. So only 1 week is there for your exams. So for that you need to prepare some timetable. So I need to study daily this much of time. Then only I can able to achieve this one. So today 5 hours I need to study. Tomorrow 6 hours. Tomorrow 7, like that. So you are allocating separate time for, and then among that 5 hours you are allocating 1 hour for Tamil, 1 hour for English, 1 hour for science, 1 hour for computer, like that. Okay, that you are specially allocating time for each and everything. Likewise, this round robin scheduling algorithms also mainly designed for which systems? Time sharing systems. Okay, how they are assigned means in a circular method. Listen, how circular method means, I'll say one example. In your book also they have given same example. So how many jobs you need to take? 3. Okay, 3. So if these jobs, how these jobs will perform well mean A is assigned the job to B. So best example I am telling, a relay. So you all know about the relay game. Okay, in a sports day and I'll play no relay. What's the use of that relay? For example, 4 persons are standing. Those who stand at the first will get that particular thing and give to the intermediary person. Then the intermediary person will get that bubble, or that person will give to the next person, dumbbell. Then third person get the dumbbell and give to the last person. Isn't it? Just like a chain format. Understand now? Likewise, 3 processes are there. So what job you are giving to the process A, that job is assigned to the next process B. Once the process A is completed means A is assigned to B. Then B completed means then it is assigned to C. Again, a circular method. Again, okay, understand? So just if you are studying round robin scheduling, think about relay games. Then don't get forget. Okay. So if 3 processes are there means first process needs to execute at the first A. If A is given means their job is given to next B, next C, next C to A. Like a circular method, it will assign. Understand? That's called as what? Round robin scheduling algorithm. So 3 algorithms I already have studied. Next one is based on priority. Each and every algorithm you can identify by your name itself. Okay? Priority. What do you mean by priority? Which students will get a high priority? Those who score good marks, you will get high priority, isn't it? Likewise, here also, which process will have higher priority, or which process you are giving priority at the first, that process will execute at the first. Okay, so how the process will execute? Which process you are giving the priority at the first, that process will execute. That means which process you are giving as a higher priority, that process will execute at the first, then only remaining priority jobs will execute. Understand? So here they are giving one example. Here also you need to consider two jobs. How many jobs? Two. What are they means? A and B. So in that A and B, so what they are given means A's priority is 5 and B's priority is 7. Okay. So which job will execute at the first? Priority A is given as the priority as 5 and B is given as a 7. So which is the highest priority? B. So B will execute at the first. After that B is assigned to the job A. Understand? So 4 algorithms today you have studied. What are the 4 algorithms? Once recall, what are the 4 algorithms you have studied? First one is SJF. What do you mean by SJF? Shortest job. First algorithm is FIFO. So all these algorithms, why we are studying? To allocate the processes in the CPU. So under the which heading you are studying? Process management. Understand? So what's the first algorithm? FIFO. What's the use of FIFO? First in, first out. So which process will execute at the or enter at the first? That process will execute at the first and immediately after the process complete, it will left out of the queue. That is FIFO. Next, SJF. What do you mean by SJF? Shortest job first. That means which process will have the shortest job, that means shortest time, that process will execute at the first. Based on the shortest time, it will take and execute. Okay. Next thing is round robin. What do you mean by round robin? Each and every process. So while we are studying round robin, which game you should remember? Relay game. So each and every process are connected like a chain or circular method. One process completed means A is assigned to B. Then B is given to C. C is given to again C. Okay. So that is round robin. Next last algorithm is based on priority. What do you mean by priority? So which process will have higher priority, that process will execute at the first. Then next priority will execute at the last. Understand? So today, two management you have studied. What are they? Process management as well as memory management. Next thing is security management. Okay. So what do you mean by security? Security means each and everywhere security is must, isn't it? For example, you are keeping your mobile phones. Mobile phones also security is needed. Nowadays, all of you, most of the students or most of the persons will keep passwords to protect their mobile phone, isn't it? So what's the use of passwords? Only you can able to open the password and only you can able to open the files of your mobile phone. Only you can able to view. But the third person can able to view that particular file? No. Why? So you are securing your mobile phone by giving passwords. That is called as security. Okay. Likewise, so each and every software, if they are each and every industry, they are producing lot of softwares. Okay. So that softwares or anything you need to protect from whom? Hackers. Who are hackers? That means unauthorized persons are getting information of you is called as what? Hackers. Okay. That means third party. So you need to secure the things from the third party. Okay. So for that, the operating system will provide 3 levels of security. Okay. So for the users, the operating system will provide how many levels of security? 3 levels. What are they? File access level. Second one is access level. Third one is network level. Understand how many levels of security is there? 3. What are they? File access level, system level and network level. So whether security is needed? Whether it is needed for you? Not only for you, each and every softwares or each and every computers or anything. Security should be a must. So for that OS, the operating system itself, provided 3 kinds of security levels. Understand? so so today up to this enough, I am thinking so. So remaining some more portions are there in this chapter. So I'll complete with the next class. Okay. So what are the things I have taught today? Please study now itself. Don't skip any portions. Okay. So this key features of operating system is a very important question. Okay. So key features. What are the things you have studied in key features? User interface you have studied. Then process management, memory management, security management. Today I have started. Among this, process management is very important. All this process management is very important. Okay. So process management, 4 algorithms you have studied. That 4 algorithm is, you should thorough that 4 algorithm. Okay. Just differentiate and study. So after completion of this section, so please take your textbooks and study this process management and write all the algorithms. So today's homework for you is that study the process management and study all the algorithms and write it. Okay. So what are the things I asked you to write? Please write it and submit once the school reopens. Okay. Don't waste time. So thank you students. Remaining class I'll continue for the next class. Okay. Thank you students.